buntag mga higala, and we are right here at the Bellevue Resort, considered as the most majestic beauty of them all as far as Panglao tourism is concerned. Why did you decide to come up with this halal, make Bellevue Resort halal-oriented? And what would it mean for the Muslim communities who will be visiting Bohol and visiting Bellevue Resort?
At the Bellevue Resort, we really pride ourselves in giving the best of not only Filipino, but most especially Boholano hospitality.
Oh.
So we're just thinking, what is another way of making sure that our guests from all over the world feel extra homey and special here at the Bellevue. And that's one thing that we've actually identified. It's not only a business opportunity, but definitely it's the biggest religion right now. We have so many neighbors in ASEAN that are Muslim. So for us, it made a practical sense to only make sure that we also get that certification as well. Right now, we're a UNESCO Global Geopark, which a lot of our neighbors have in our Islamic countries like Malaysia and Indonesia. And of course, being highlighted in terms of the many tourists coming our way, we really see that it's an opportunity because it's something that they can be more comfortable with when they travel, their eating preferences, their room categories, how it's laid out. So for us, it will make us it will give our guests hopefully another reason to choose the Bellevue Resort as their place here in Bohol.
So with me, friends, is the room division manager or supervisor of Bellevue Resort, Mr. Noli Soldavia. Okay, sir, when we talk of halal, people think that it's all about Islamic food hygiene or sanitary or dietary practices. But you just mentioned a while ago during our off hour that it also means a way of life. So how does it translate into, when it comes to the rooms of Bellevue Resort?
Of course, so whenever we have Muslim brothers and sisters coming here, we have to make sure that we're able to cater to them, not only with their food, but also with their stay. So we've made improvements also, enhancements on how we cater to our Muslim brothers and sisters. It also covers all the frontline staff undergoing fundamentals of halal training. So this is our way of educating ourselves in the ways of halal. We also made enhancements on the guest rooms, policies and procedures on how to handle the Quran, the prayer mat. We also added Muslim channels in our guest rooms just to make sure that they're comfortable with their stay, and while they're here, they have food to eat.
Zach, we're here and we have been talking about halal. Now, halal, we all know that it's equated with Islamic dietary practice. But can you tell us more? What really is halal?
So technically, when we're talking about the word halal, it means permissible or lawful.
Lawful.
Yeah, lawful in the Islamic perspective.
Okay.
But nowadays, halal food, it's not only limited to the Muslims. It's became a worldwide trend because everyone knows that it's the cleanest food that you can eat and the safest food. Because it's based on a process that starts from scratch to the end. And it's more focusing on a proper slaughter. Because halal, first of all, it's not related to avoid pork and alcohol. It's a whole process. Having a proper storage, having a proper slaughter for the animals, having a special equipments for our halal restaurants or our halal kitchen. Server.
So this is the appetizer.
We're having overnight oats with fruits and dates as well. So basically, for the Muslim culture, like for the breaking the fast, which is the iftar, it's very important to start by dates because it has like the things that you will be needing. And with dates, normally we serve it with milk or yogurt.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing. You can see dates and yogurt and also overnight oats. So it's like a refreshing for you after you're fasting.
Fasting. What is that? Oh,
So,
this one.
This one. So as you can see, this is a very famous soup in the Muslim countries. It's a Moroccan soup actually, and it's a mix between tomato and some vegetables and meat. So it gives like the
meat?
meat. It's a beef meat.
Beef?
Yeah.
Not pork.
No. We cannot serve it with pork. Otherwise, there is no meaning for that. So it's the perfect thing after getting like the first appetizer. So it's gonna start filling you up little by little. And I would love if you can try it because this is one of the best, even for me. Options dependent on the guest needs. So now you will be trying. This is actually a twist. We used the bangus, which is milkfish, as it said in here, with the sharmoula sauce. Sharmoula sauce, it's a Moroccan sauce that we use for the chicken, for the salads, and it gives a twist to the food.
With the portions. Oh my god.
Well,
Oh my god. The servings here are generous. Way generous. You know?
so technically, as I said, this is normally oven cooked fish in a Moroccan way, but we used a local fish, which is milkfish, bangus. Yeah.
And then what's this?
This is a grilled vegetables. And here, as you can see, you're having a complete nutritious food with carbs, clean proteins, and fibers as well. So now you will get a grilled chicken with mushroom sauce.
Okay. Grilled
Chicken, yeah.
Oh, I love the combination.
And this mushroom, it's one of the top sellers that we're having here. Diba, kuya?
Oh my.
Actually, this is a chili.
Huh?
A chili.
Chili?
Chili, yeah.
Where? Ah, that one.
Ah.